Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about haram jobs in Islam. First, we will start from professional sports. In this case, actually I'm using soccer or football. The first reason, as you can see, it is proven to us that play continues during the times of prayers, which result in the players and spectators missing prayers, or they delay performing prayers until the time for them is over. So this is haram because many people missing prayer time. The second reason, the nature of this game leads to factionalism, stirring up fitna and hatred. For example, soccer or volleyball or beach volleyball, there are two different clubs or two different groups playing against each other. That's why it's stirring up fitna, division, and hatred. And reason number three, the game involves physical danger for the players as a result of collisions and injuries. Well, that's what they say. Why? But this is not actually why. This is because of this. Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 219. Let us read. I will read half of it. They question thee about strong drink and game of chance. Say, in both is great sin and utility for man. But the sin of them is greater than their usefulness. I'm using the translation of Pictol here because I want to bring this up. Game of chance. A very interesting words he uses here. Game of chance. In any sports, there's a chance of winning, there's a chance of losing. This is why chess, the game of, also forbidden. Chess is haram in Islam. Now, I don't know much about sports. For example, Manchester United playing volleyball against Chicago Bulls. Chicago Bulls will have 33.3% chance of winning, and Manchester United also has 33% chance of winning. The other 33%, or 33.3%, should I say, is the game will end in draw. So nobody is winning, nobody is losing. Therefore, 33.3% chance. I hope you understand. I hope you follow me here. So therefore, because there's a chance of winning, there's a chance of losing, soccer is haram. Because this fall under the category, this category, game of chance. You understand? Now, let's go to the next one. This is not only this kind of sports. Remember, uh, they mentioned about the injuries. Sahih Muslim, hadith number 2612E. On the authority of Ibn Hatim, Allah's apostle is reported to have said, when any one of you fights with his brother, he should avoid his face, for Allah created Adam in his own image. So you should not strike someone in the face because Allah created Adam in his own image. So now we're not talking about chess, we're not talking about volleyball, but now boxing, wrestling, UFC, MMA, also haram, forbidden. Because in boxing, they hit each other's face. UFC too, right? And what makes it worse, the professional athletes get paid to do that. That's why it is worse if you're a professional. Next one. This is hadith from Sahih Muslim, hadith number 2107F. Aisha reported that Allah's Messenger entered and I had hung a thin curtain having pictures on it. The color of his face underwent a change. He then took hold of that curtain and tore it, and then said, the most grievous torment for the people of on the day of the resurrection would be for those who try to imitate Allah in the act of creation. Let me show you one more thing. Sahih Muslim hadith number 2108a. Ibn Umar reported Allah's Messenger having said, those who paint pictures would be punished on the day of resurrection, and it would be said to them, breathe soul into what you have created. This is a very strange hadith, but anyway. So if you're a painter, you gotta change your job. If you're a Muslim and you're a painter, you gotta find another job because you will be punished for being a painter. Actually, not only painter. If you're a photographer, if you're a tattoo artist, if you are working in one of that making animation, Japanese manga, if you are a game developer, and you're a Muslim, I advise you, you gotta change your job because you will be punished for being a photographer, a wedding photographer especially, many people in the pictures and taking like 1,000 pictures. Can you imagine the punishment? If you're not a Muslim, don't worry about it. Now, next. What else is haram? Al-Imran, Surah Al-Imran, verse 130. O believers, do not consume interest, multiplying it many times over, and be mindful of Allah, so you may prosper. So this is talking about riba. Riba is forbidden. Riba is haram. It is also mentioned in Surah An-Nisa, verse 161. And their taking of usury while they had been forbidden from it, and their consuming of people's wealth unjustly. And we have prepared for the disbelievers among them a painful punishment. So if we just follow these verses, there are more verses like this actually. I believe it's in Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 175 to 180, also talking about this. So according to these verses, if you're a Muslim, you cannot work in a bank. You cannot work in investment companies. Now, not only as a banker, not only as a teller, bank teller, no, but also even as a janitor, because you are involved indirectly. You're still involved indirectly. So you should not work there. You must not actually work there. The company I'm working for give us pension. which is very rare, but they do. The employees are required to put 2%, and the employer will put 4%. And there's another choice: the employee puts 6%, and the employer will put 8% of whatever you make that week, which is very generous. This money will be put into a like mutual funds. So sometimes growing faster, sometimes going down, sometimes going up. But anyway, it keeps going up, even though sometimes it's down. But the funny thing is like so many Muslims work where I work, and they have no problem with it because they receive the riba. They're not paying the riba. If they pay the riba, then it's problem. But if they receive, then it's okay, I guess. Because mutual funds like this should be haram too. Because the money growing based on interest. But I guess if you have double standard, life is easier. Now, let's see next. What else? Surah Nisa verse 31, and tell the believing women to reduce of their vision and guard their private parts, and not expose their adornment, except that appears thereof, and to wrap their head covers over their chest, and not expose their adornment, except to their husbands, their fathers, their husbands' fathers, their sons, their husbands' sons, their brothers' sons, their sisters' sons, their women, that which their right hands possess, i.e., slave, and those male attendants having no physical desire, also slaves, basically, and children who are not yet aware of the private aspects of women, and let them not stamp their feet to make known what they conceal of their adornment. And turn to Allah in repentance, all of you, O believers, that you might succeed. So basically, you cannot be a model because you cannot show anything about any part of your body except face, maybe. And you cannot show jewelry, whether it's bracelet or earrings or rings or anything. And I don't know what it's called. Bracelet. Sometimes women wear on their leg, and it has little bells. Sometimes made of gold. Sometimes made of silver. I don't know what it's called. Anyway, that's also you cannot show. So therefore, you cannot be a model. If you're a Muslim, you cannot do a modeling job because you have to show something, right? Next one. All believers, intoxicants, gambling, idols, and drawing lots for decisions are all evil of Satan's handiwork. So shun them, so you may be successful. So, if you're a Muslim, you cannot buy, sell, or brew alcohol. You cannot buy and sell lottery tickets. So let's say there's a bar, right? You cannot work in that bar, even as a janitor, even as a cook. Because some bars they sell food. Even you're not a bartender, if you work in that bar, then that job is haram for you if you are a Muslim. And you cannot work in a casino, even as a janitor. I have to remind you, in Canada, casinos are under the government, not like the States. Canada is a bit different compared to USA. Any lottery, any casino is under the government. So now, one more thing. This one might surprise you. If you are a Muslim, you cannot be a doctor or a nurse. Why? I will show you why. Surah Tariq, verse 6 to 7. They were created from a spurting fluid stemming from between the backbone and the rib cage. This is talking about sperm. According to the book of Allah, sperm is created from between the backbone and the rib cage. But if you go to medical school, sperm is created from inside the scrotum. So if you go to medical school, you will have to go against Allah and His word and Quran. Because there will be an exam. During the time of exam, let's say they ask you, where is sperm coming from? The right answer is scrotum. But if you're a Muslim, if you answer that, then you will go to hell. Because Allah told you it comes from backbone and rib cage. So this is the dilemma. Anyway, that's all from me for tonight. Thank you for listening and watching. Whether you're Muslim or a Christian, whether you're a Hindu or a Buddhist or a Jew or an atheist, God bless you all. Have a nice life.